Hi. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about something that I've been on the internet for decades. All right? I've been on the internet since 1998. And I've been very vocal about Italian folk magic, Italian witchcraft, Italian stregoneria, which is the Italian word for witchcraft. I've been very open about tarot and cartomancy, and so after 20 going on 21 years being on the internet, people think they know me, and this video is not going to be about me. It's going to be about you, and um, I'll tell you a little bit about myself, but really I'm going to talk about you watching this video, and if you're a content creator, or not a content creator, but you're watching other people's videos, or participating in Facebook groups, or following people on Instagram. No one has the right to tell you who you are. And let me start from the beginning. Often, over the years, I've seen the same garbage. And when I was younger, because, hey, I've been on the internet for 21 years. So, in a very vocal capacity in terms of my practice. But I've never been very forthright, or I've never been very open about my personal practice. I've been very vocal about the practices of my parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, ancestors. That word is starting to grate on me because it's used a lot. It's become a buzzword. I've been very vocal about traditional Italian practices having to do with witchcraft and the art of blessing and all this stuff. That doesn't have a name, very much like any religious magical tradition or magical religious tradition doesn't really have a name until an anthropologist gave it a name, or needed a label in order to be able to define it or talk about it. And I don't, so this video came to be, or my desire to talk about this came to be because, it goes in cycles. Okay? It goes in cycles, and I'll see, and it's always the same hoary chestnut. Someone is posting about their craft, they're posting about their tradition, they're posting about their beliefs, and they're sharing it with people, and which I think is wonderful. I think it's beautiful when someone feels so much, garners so much joy from their practice that they want to spread that joy around, or they want to share it with other people and connect with other people. And then you always have that one asshole that comes along who will say, oh, what you're practicing is not real. Or that's not true witchcraft. That is not, like in my case, no, what you're practicing is not witchcraft because you're Catholic. Really? Because did I tell anybody I was Catholic? I'm Italian. I guess it's assumed I'm Catholic. But do I talk about going to church? Do I talk about Catholic religion? No. And then the flip side to that is that, someone who's Catholic will come along and post, let's say, a hate comment either on, lately it's YouTube videos, but in the past it was on forums or, my personal Facebook or wherever I happen to be posting. Oh, well, you're going to hell. You should know. You should know. You should know better than that, to use the saints for gain, or to use the saints for your own agenda. You don't know me. How do because you're Catholic, you should know better than to practice witchcraft. Don't you know you're practicing witchcraft? How do you know what I'm practicing? And that's the thing right there. Just because you share your rituals on social media, just because you talk about your beliefs on social media, doesn't mean that you should take any commentary personally from people who happen to be drifting by, especially the hateful shit. Like, if someone is downvoting their video, you're living rent free in their head, because why are they watching your video to downvote it? Why are they going out of their way to downvote all your videos? I see this always when it comes, and it's because I've been watching this for a long time, right? Anyone who posts a video on anything metaphysical, right away there's a downvote. Even the sweetest person that I watch, often the first vote on their video is a downvote. And they haven't talked about anything controversial. They're usually quite kind-hearted people that are just sharing something that they're enjoying. So, yeah. Hang on. And then, what happens? These assholes come along and they'll post a comment, and I'm sorry, but you don't know what anybody's practice is. For instance, I couldn't give a rat's ass what people say about my practice. When they say, oh, you're Catholic, or whatever, or what you're practicing is not witchcraft, couldn't give a rat's ass. I've been practicing for fucking decades, and my magic is sound. That's all I care about. Now, if what I talk about resonates with you, that's wonderful, because that is why I post videos. This is a hobby. This is a hobby because it's kind of fun to be able to enter a conversation, even though we're not directly talking to each other. We're all participating in a conversation with our videos, and the people who watch our content are also participating by watching and commenting. Now, going back to not letting people tell you who you are. I know it's hard. I know it's very, very hard, especially when you're new to a practice, or whether it's tarot and oracle card reading, whether it's witchcraft. If you're especially I really respect when I watch videos of women and men my age who are open and call themselves baby witches, because they're just coming to whatever form of witchcraft they're attracted to at their age. I'm middle-aged. Okay, well, it's no secret. I'm 51 years old. So when I see adults my age excited about their new path, it's wonderful. And then when I see some asshole post something like, what you're practicing is not real, blah blah blah, or when I see YouTube videos, because these have been around forever, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's a forum post, whether it's a blog post, there's always that person that says, oh yeah, well, those books that you're reading, they're crap. They're not good books. You shouldn't read these books. You should read these books. And my comment to that has always been, and for those of you who've known me for who've known me for the 2 decades I've been online, what do I always say? No, I disagree. Read all the books and make up your own mind. Other people that don't even know you, people who just know you, people who don't even know you, because there's no way of really knowing someone on the internet. You can know facets of them. What do you know about me? You know what I show you. You don't know all of me. How can you? The same thing with anyone else you watch. There's no way of, you can't say, oh, I know this person and their practice is shit. Well, no, you don't know. You don't. And going back to the people who are feeling hurt by these comments, the hurt is real. Okay? It's very upsetting. I understand. I've been on the receiving end of a lot of shitty comments over the last 20 years about me, about, sometimes, people are absolutely insane, the stuff they come up with. I've had people impersonate me, like as if I'm like someone, whatever. But I've had people impersonate me online and start shit in comments on forums and stuff like that. I had a podcast for a little while about 10 years ago, and then when I stopped, someone continued pretending to be me. And so I've had all kinds of weird shit. I've had online rivalries with people. I have been the instigator of shit when I was younger, for starting out. I'm very passionate about my practice. I'm very passionate about my heritage. I'm very passionate about my Italian witchcraft, the practices that I learned from family members. I'm very passionate about my culture of origin. I could be totally insensitive when I'm defending what I'm passionate about, especially when I was younger. I've mellowed with age, and those of you who've been following me for a while have even criticized that I've mellowed with age. I've actually had people say to me, "Oh my God, you've gone soft," and well, maybe it's not that I've gone soft. I just don't give a shit about what people have to say about me. And if you're out there and you're creating this beautiful content where you're sharing your life, you're sharing your joy of your new path, or you're sharing your wisdom of not a new path, but your lifelong path, thank you. And if ever you feel like you're not going to post anymore, you're not going to share anymore because some asshole wrote some comment or sent you some evil bullshit in an email, or if you're second guessing who you are because of someone's opinion who doesn't even freaking know you, write me, contact me so I can give you a pep talk, because that's not okay. You should never ever let someone's opinion of you tell you who you are. You know who you are, and you know what you're doing, and you know what, to what degree you're sharing, and you know what you're holding back. So yeah, so there's that. So let's I don't know, I think I said what I had to say on this subject. It's been it really irritates me because I see some really nice people on the internet who have put out some really nice content, then have to come on and do a video defending their beliefs, defending their practices, and then sometimes what I find, and this I find sad, it makes me sad, and I want to just reach out and give these people a hug, because it's like, no, you don't need to explain anything to us. You are the way your creator made you, and you are expressing your joy, you are expressing, you are sharing your wisdom. You don't need to explain to anybody. You don't need to make excuses. And you don't need to fit into whatever mold you think you need to fit into. And here's the example I'm going to give. I posted a video last week with the hashtag I am a fortune teller. And there have been some VRs to that, which surprised me because I wasn't expecting there to be VRs. And there's like tons of, like for me, like with a small channel, there's tons of comments under that video. And what really stood out to me was the videos where people's VRs, people's video responses to my I am a fortune teller, wanted to make sure that they were not perceived as fortune tellers, and who wanted to be perceived as not judging me for being okay with that term. Well, or not judge, or they wanted to be perceived as not judging me for being a fortune teller, but they've already made assumptions that when you come to see me for a reading, I spread out the cards and I say, oh, I see a dark, handsome stranger in your future. And you will have a torrid love affair. But sadly, he's going to get hit by a car before your wedding day. Of course I don't give readings like that. But I don't need to explain that to anybody. Because I've been reading for decades. Decades. And I don't need to explain whether I don't need to say, well, I'm ethical. And I'm not, see that my video here, what I'm saying here, I'm not attacking the people who do say that they're ethical. What I'm trying to say is I don't feel like I need to explain to anybody what kind of readings I give. If you've had readings by me, you know what kind of readings I give. If you haven't had a reading by me and you're interested in having a reading by me, then you'll find out what they're like. But the assumption is the same. Just like those of you who are, card readers, your tarot readers, and it's the actual reading of the cards that is your hobby, learning what the card meanings are, spreads. It's fabulous. I've never been able to, I've never been able to learn another spread. I have one spread that I use. It's for anytime someone wants a reading, that's the spread I use. It's the zodiac or astrological, the zodiac houses or the astrological spread. That's what I use. And when I watch videos of people who are exploring the spreads from different guidebooks or exploring spreads that they create themselves, I just sit there and go, whoa, that's awesome. Because I'm generally interested in what other people are doing. I'm never going to say, oh, well, I don't know, that person's not a psychic medium, so I can't imagine that they would be a good card reader. No, card reading is completely different from a psychic reading. Completely different. Because card reading requires that someone have the skill to read the symbolism in the tarot. A psychic reading is basically, it's information that's downloaded, and the image, and if you use cards for psychic readings, the images on the cards spark the communication. They accent what you need to talk about. They guide you through all this downloaded information. The cards help to parcel it so that you're able to deliver all the information that comes through. I went on a tangent. I rambled. The gist of it is, you know who you are. You know what you're doing. You know what joy and serenity your spiritual practice brings you, whatever that may be. You know if you practice magic. You know whether your spell work is effective or not. And it doesn't matter what your spell work looks like. Whether you like the full elaborate altar with all the ingredients and the four elements present, and the corresponding herbs and crystal and oils and incantation. That's beautiful. And that's your way of doing it. That's your magic. And all that matters is that you connect. For you, you have to be able to connect with the energy of intention and direct your intention and your focus and your intention in order to manifest what you want. And if for you, it's an elaborate ritual complete with incense, smoke, candles, 4 elements, herbs, oils, music, drums, spirits, whatever it is, all the way stripped down to a quiet meditation where you picture in your mind what you want to manifest, and then some kind of trigger that you use, like for instance, you take a deep breath, you visualize exactly the reality you want to create, and then when you have the image perfect in your mind, that's a spell as well. Other people should never, ever make you feel less than. The opinion of others. Don't never let the opinion of others make you feel less than. Don't let the opinions of the little people, because you know what? It's a pretty, let's be honest, on the internet, especially on YouTube with their fake monikers and they're posting nastiness in your comments, delete them. You don't need to keep them. Why? Why would you keep those comments there? Just like if back in the old days, I remember, it's a funny analogy. Some of you may remember we used to have cameras and film. We didn't have digital cameras. And you'd take a whole bunch of pictures and you'd expect these pictures to be amazing, and then you get them and you're like, whoa. The one picture of yourself you were looking forward to having because you thought you looked nice in your new dress or new suit or whatever it is. And picture's not good. Picture makes you feel bad. We used to keep those pictures because they cost money to develop. Throw them out. Same thing with any digital debris that makes you unhappy. Throw it out. You take a selfie you don't like, delete it. Someone posts a comment that's hateful in your space, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, delete it. You do not owe anyone a piece of your space at all, ever. You do not have to defend what you do, believe, think to anyone, especially on the internet. These people are complete strangers hiding behind fake names who, to be honest, if they're taking the time to come by your piece of the internet to spew venom, think how fucking sad their life is. Because people who are enjoying their lives, people who are living their lives, people who are joyful, they're not trolling the internet looking for nice people to say garbage to or to spread their venom. So if you're watching this, if you're watching my video and you just recently have felt like you can't post content anymore, or if you just recently felt like, if you're looking at the content that you're posting, wherever it is that you're posting it, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, whatever, and it doesn't resonate with you, but you feel like it helps you fit in, stop. Stop fitting in with other people. Stop following other people's formulas. Follow your own formula. Because this is a creative expression that should be bringing you joy. This is a creative expression that it should nourish you. Your creative expression should nourish you. Your creative expression should be your creative expression. And if anything, and not that I want to take it, if you need to follow someone's lead, find the people who do whatever the fuck they want. Find the people that are talking, that that are not that are not just part of an echo chamber. Find the people and make them your role models. Find the people who do and say what they feel, regardless of whether it's popular, regardless of whether it's everyone else's opinion. So I know this is, so I've been rambling now for almost half an hour, but I really hope that in this ramble I've reached someone, because I want you all to continue. And those of you who are watching my video, and I want you all to continue with your creative expression. I want you all to continue sharing what brings you joy, whether it's tarot related and you just love obtaining new decks and doing flip throughs like reviews or oh my gosh, unboxings. If that's what brings you joy, oh my gosh, don't stop doing it because you feel like you were judged, like I said, by people that don't matter. If you like to share, if you're the content you like to create, if what you like to share is your excitement and joy at discovering witchcraft, at being new in the craft. I remember what it was like when I first discovered witchcraft. Just because I came from a family that always practiced witchcraft, but we didn't call it that. I'm talking about when I first went to a metaphysical store and there were all these books on witchcraft. And incense and candles and crystals, and I've always been a rock collector. I was a rock collector as a kid, but then I discovered that, oh my God, you could go to a store and there's all these beautiful rocks that have energetic meaning, or I still remember what that felt like. Don't let some asshole on the internet squash that for you, all right? Don't let them crush that for you. Don't let them ruin it for you. All right? Like I said, what did I say? What did Grace say? Grace said, delete those fucking comments and carry on. And if you're feeling really bad about it, and it's affecting what you're doing in terms of your creative expression and creating content and recording videos or whatever it is that you're doing, if it's really bothering you, hit me up. You can contact me here through YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm all over the place. Contact me. I'll give you a pep talk. I'll remind you who you are. So with that, I guess I'll let you go because I've been rambling for 30 minutes. Pretty much to say what I'm going to say again. You know who you are. No one else does. It is impossible for anyone to know the mind and heart of another. completely. People only know what you share. They only know what you tell them, especially on the internet. So these people don't know you at all, and therefore their opinions are worthless. Thanks for tuning in, and I'm wishing you all a beautiful day.